Hi everyone, here we are, ready to have a look at what is likely to happen for the Yeti in December. But there's a few little things to celebrate, really. The avalanche of documents is now coming through the pipeline. So we know that the Dems applied for all these documents and have been blocked at every turn. Meanwhile, the group that's called American Oversight has put in freedom of information for all those same documents, and they've got them. The first one's arrived, but the others are close on its heels. And so that's, I think, a very exciting development. So these documents they've already got are connecting Giuliani and Pompeo from the beginning about this stonewalling for the Democrats. So don't blame the Dems for this. Why didn't they go down the freedom of information route? They went down their politically correct, legally correct channels, and this stonewalling now forms itself into a case for obstruction against not just the Yeti, but these other senior players. Where is Bolton too, by the way? He should be speaking up. But we're not done with the documents. Lev Parnes, who's now our best friend, see, Trump did him in the same way he did Cohen in, by brushing him and saying he hardly knew him. And Lev seems to have taken offence at this and is now coming forward with documents, including recordings. I love the R word. Now, we all know Lev and Igor are no doubt instruments of the Russian state. However, for whatever reason, whether it's deliberate to split them, one talk and one not talk, or whether Lev's gone out on his own, don't know, should do a reading on Lev. The point being, he is now presenting documents and recordings that are dobbing Giuliani full in it. And as if that wasn't enough, we have such exciting developments on the Nunes front. Nunes going down the gurgler, bloop, 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 bloop. He's trying to sue everyone to stop it coming out. But he's in Lev's crosshairs too. Off to Vienna. This thing was Vienna, Firtash, the one who pays them all. Lordy. But now, today, our focus is going to be on the Yeti. He's been so disgusting, really. You'd have to think the Republicans are running out of lipstick to put on this pig. You know. So here we go. Trump's December. I'll pull a main card for him and then we'll do each of the 4 weeks. I'm using the Russian cards. Trump in December. The Two of Cups. He's getting a bit tired, the Yeti. There we go. Okay, week 1. Week 2. Week 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3. And week 4. All right. Now, can we see these? Not very well. Sorry, viewers. If I was more technically adept, we'd all be better off. Okay, but his main card, Two of Cups. So this is him trying. It's a funny thing to say, but he's looking for love, or at least looking for an ally. And he's only got one left. Being a Gemini, that might be his alter ego, because I can't think of who the person would be. It's possible it's Ivanka. But he's got no one else left. I mean, look at this. Look at this. and she, the woman in this card, looking slightly away. Now, I've also been picking up on Ivanka lately, particularly in regard to her taxes. I think this is going to come home to roost, you know, maybe the Vancouver hotel or other international deals. The pyramid scheme they had going in Panama. There's so many to choose from. She was in charge of the inauguration and managed to, whoops, lose the money. I'm just saying. Okay, so it could be that Ivanka is his sole remaining person who picks up the phone. Now, week 1 December, not off to a good start, into the maws of legaldom. This is the Hierophant, law and order, and so forth. So it's not going to start off well. Don't you love that image? That must be how he's actually feeling, isn't it? You know, just standing on top of this precipice, and he's only got a walking stick to beat back the birds as he slowly he's stuck. He's completely stuck on a pedestal of his own making. I think this encapsulates him and how he's feeling really well. The Eight of Swords, visiting someone in jail. Now, he wouldn't visit anyone in jail. Once you're arrested, that's it. The big nine eyes, you know. But someone is going to be going to jail in week 1. This could be bearing in mind Tarot's not exact timelines, this could be the Roger Stone stuff, although his sentencing doesn't come up. No, I think Flynn. Roger Stone's not till February. I think this is to do with Flynn, and he has decided to fight everything. Sorry, it started to rain really heavily. I hope you can hear me. Flynn has decided, having admitted everything, to denying everything and saying he was trapped. This is not going to go down well with the sentencing judge, and he is going to the big house. I'm sure that's Flynn. Now, here we have the Lovers card. It's very Giuliani-like, isn't it? But this, if you think on top, Trump had the Two of Cups. Right. This again is sort of down to, this is a man who has to buy love in the form of the upmarket escort. I say upmarket because, you know, it has a very glamorous attendance, but this is the card of eavesdropping too. So I think people have been eavesdropping on Trump, even though it looks like Giuliani, this is Trump, and whoever he's meeting with and talking with. I think, I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier, but I think the White House itself is bugged, thanks to the Russian ambassador very early in 2017 going in there. I think the Russians hear everything. So week 2, now week 1 already is churning him up. But week 2, this is the 11 of Wands in this deck, the Page of Wands. This is a message that's going to come through to him or from him. Now, if you look, there's a tremendous isolation to this figure as well. So I think he's going to be putting a message out about how he thinks his defense should go. And that's going to leave the White House aides reeling. It's going to leave the GOP reeling. He's going to take hold of his own messaging, and we all know how that ends every time he comes up with a great new idea. Speaking of pages, we have another one, the Page of Cups. This is a surprise message. The first one, I think, was initiated by him. This one is a surprise to him. And I think it's one of those gulp moments, right? word is going to come out. I think I'm feeling DOJ. Sorry, first digression, viewers. The DOJ is split. You've got those who are forced to comply and do the dance for a bar, and there's everyone else. And everyone else, I think, is working quietly, yes, deep state, in a good way, to try and keep the basic pillars of democracy up. And I think it's going to be one of those. The other thing that I'm feeling quite strongly, particularly when I see this card underneath it, I think you're going to see another whistleblower about his taxes. Right, again, the eavesdropping, the people trying to get away from the eavesdropper talking in the park, but not. I predict another whistleblower, probably around his taxes. Now, this doesn't work very well with those going down. I'm going to hold them up. The Seven of Cups. I love these images. Now, that's the card of illusion, delusion. Well, that's where he lives, isn't it, viewers, really? I mean, that amphetamine-laden spray on Fox. There's also, even if you've seen it, it's worth looking. Trevor Noah has put together a 4-minute mashup, and it's hilarious. This is just the Fox news anchors trying to get him off the phone. It's hilarious. So he lives in a state of illusion, delusion. I think the imagery of this card is suggesting here's the man who's actually paid for sex but thinks she loves him. Okay. Really. So he thinks he's still loved, is what I take away from that. Where in week 3, he thinks he's still loved, but a few ugly surprises in the meantime. The Two of Pentacles. This is week 3 still. So in the traditional decks, the juggler and the manipulator. But in this, see, this is called the 12 Chairs Tarot, these Russian cards, and there's chairs in lots of them. And it's about people looking for money in the chairs. And this is a person walking, trying to hide from whoever's behind the lit window. So on the one hand, the Yeti is sort of madly deluded that he's popular, but on the other, he's starting to withdraw more and not wanting to be seen. Now, one of my really favourite cards in this deck is the Ace of Cups, because it so lends itself to all this absolute cascade of documents that are coming through the pipeline. More of these documents will be revealed week 3, major. Week 3, major. And he won't be able to hide. He'll try. Now, week 4, the beginning of week 4, this is him thinking about escape routes, fantasizing about escape routes. Now, I think, along with some others, the Dems will impeach. The Senate has every chance of not impeaching, but I will do a dedicated reading on that because we all have to be prepared for their no. But I think this is the end of December now. We're in the last days of December. This speaks to me of this is when they'll make their play. There'll be more stuff emerge that'll be harder and harder for them to control, and they will be offering him the deal we've all been talking about for a long time, like we won't put Ivanka in jail if you go now type deal. That is reinforced in week 4, right? Off on the motorbike, you know, the chariot moving. So although I can't, I've still got another card. last card, lest we forget, the devil. The devil. The cards speak, right? So I can't promise you he'll be gone by the end of December, but his options will be so narrow by then that even though he has fantasies of leaving, he doesn't really think he will. Whereas I think that is when, about 4 weeks from now, is when they're going to put something in train. So they go into the new year. There's every chance he will say no. The devil card, there's every chance he'll say no. In which case he'll limp on January, February. And trust me, astrologically, these are not good months for the Yeti. If he's there, this is the beginning of the end now. The end of December is the middle of the end. And January, February next year, I think, are truly the end game. So in other words, they'll make him an offer. I think he'll go, no. Then he'll want that deal at the end of February and they're going, no, it's not on the table now. You have to take this version. That's what I think is going to happen. I think also looking at these cards, another country is going to show up. You see, when you get this card, there's lots of things in the pot, right? You know, these are the various indictments. These are the various subpoenas. And by the way, the subpoenas are getting closer and closer to Giuliani because now his company, Giuliani Securities, has been subpoenaed. So we're only a fingernail away from Giuliani. Nunes is going to squirm and be lucky to escape jail, and I don't know that he will escape jail. Nunes has been very bad. Naughty boy, naughty boy. Okay, so I'll leave it there for now. Don't forget, you can still get your t-shirts. I'll put the link up. We are changing to another company. And other than that, I love you a lot, and please keep the comments happening. Please, please, please. But the whole thing is now a powder keg, an absolute powder keg. Okay, ciao for now.